Today we're going to be installing a pool pump enclosure. So the idea is to cover this area so that it's protected from the elements. If you have a pool pump, you know that over time when the sun radiates on top of PVC, it makes it brittle and it could break over time. If you want to learn how I created this and how much it costs, stay with me to learn some more.
Please take a moment to subscribe to this channel so that we could make these videos available to more viewers just like you.
So we're at the customer's property, and what happens with this area over time is that when the sunlight hits it, it weathers this area, the PVC starts getting brittle and it starts breaking. So this piece right here broke and the customer had to call the pool guy to come out and repair that. So the idea that the customer had was to cover this so that it doesn't get hit by sunlight and damage it. So we thought of purchasing a prefabricated enclosure with a lid. So you just pretty much open the lid, take out the wall so that you could access all of the stuff that you need to maintain the pool.
I thought that the plastic storage bin idea was great. I didn't want to go the wood route. I didn't want to build anything out of wood and have the risk of things rotting over time, getting wet. I also didn't want to get anything out of metal because I wanted to blend in better with the house, and I don't want the risk of anything rusting over time. So I wanted to use plastic. There were two setbacks, however. The first one was that I couldn't find anything large enough to fit in all of the pool pump parts and cover it. Also, the pool pump heater was very close to all of the PVC pipes, and I don't want the risk of that melting the storage bin, the plastic storage bin, because that would have been a fire hazard. So I had to scrap the storage bin idea.
The idea that I came up with was to build an enclosure that was much bigger to cover all this here. So the idea is to put walls here that come out all the way out to here, where the customer can simply walk up to it, not have to open anything. Everything would be hidden, so that it's easier for the customer to maintain this as opposed to having moving parts. We would have pretty much an enclosure that's open.
So now that I decided that I knew that I was going to go with plastic, I had to come up with the idea of building something large enough to accommodate all of that space. So in total, it was about 8 feet worth of space that I needed to cover. So the first thought was to create an enclosure made of PVC fence panels. If I did that, I had never seen anything installed with a roof on top of it. So I had to come up with an idea that worked best for this particular project. So I decided to purchase PVC fence panels and then purchase corrugated roof panels made of plastic that would sit on top of that. Now, I didn't want anything visible from the street, so I also purchased these plastic channels that fit on the end of the roof panels to cover all that up. So here's a breakdown of the materials that I decided to go with, an idea of it. This gives you a blueprint so that you could have an idea of how much you would have to spend if you decided to build something similar. So this small change room was what I decided to go with. It costs about $478, and if you put a few roof panels on top of it, you're going to wind up spending about $550 to build this out if you're looking for something smaller. What I decided to build was twice this size, so I spent about $1,000 to build this out.
So we're starting to install the posts so that we could begin installing the panels. There's pipes inside under the ground. There's an irrigation pipe here, water line here. So we've had to work our way around digging everything by hand so that we don't damage anything here. So the idea is the wall is going to go here, the entrance is going to go here, a wall is going to go here to cover this area here, and there's going to be an area to walk to go all the way down. So when you install these posts first, you have to create holes on each end so that when you put down the cement, it'll hold it and it doesn't go flying out. It's just an additional security. And when you're putting in the U-channels here, you have to make sure that it goes all the way up to the top. Put at least 3 or 4 screws to hold it in place. And then you start inserting your pickets, your plastic pickets in. And then once you've got them all in, then you put the top bar in last. Okay, so here's where we are at so far. I couldn't install the posts here because there's a lot going on in there, and this has to be accessible for future repairs. So I floated the PVC against the house. The way I did that was because there was a spacing that I needed for the gutters. I added a spacing using the PVC. So I adhered that to the wall and I put this piece over that, and that's how I was able to float it. The roofing material is going to go right inside those U-channel slots, and we're going to slip it inside here so that it could be supported. I also added an aluminum L-shaped trim to give it stability here so that if the wind blows, it's not going to blow it off. And we're also going to secure that with screws. We also added the U-channel around the columns or around the posts here so that we're going to simply slip in the roof panels there all the way up to the end. All right, so here's a finished installation. From this angle, you could barely see that there's a roof up there. And that was the whole goal, was to have that roof hidden from the street. So if I raise it about 16 feet in the air, you should be able to see that there's actually a roof there. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. So I was able to hide the roof with a U-channel that comes with your PVC panels. So that's where it begins. And this is where it ends, right there. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the roof and at the structure. You could see that this PVC piece is higher than that one because there's a slope here. I added this PVC support here, and this is actually the vertical PVC part of a gate. I ordered this without any holes so that I could add this, similar to adding a 2x4 as a support for the roof. So wherever I overlap the roof, I added this PVC trim or this PVC gate to support the roof, and then I added screws over the top. And then on this end, I did the same as the other side. Because I couldn't bury anything down there, because there's PVC pipes everywhere and I don't want to mess with that. There's electrical and PVC pipes, everything I wanted to stay away from. I floated the PVC parts over the top, and then I just added this as a support right over it. And then to close it off, to make it look finished, I added the caps on the top and the bottom. And I did the same for that piece over there. So this is pretty much what it looks like. Now the customer has access to remove this filter and work here. There's enough spacing between the pool heater and the roof so that there's no risk of this getting too hot here. So pretty much everything is enclosed now. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stuff like this. Thank you.